So reaching up, because this feels so good after sitting in the morning. Try to let your ribcage stretch. We'll go around to the floor and up and around and up. One more time each direction. And let's go for some shoulder rolls. Make them as big as you can. 3, and I'm hearing a lot of snap, crackle, and pops, but you know, that's just me. I can't hear what you're doing. Things go forward. Let's take our knuckles onto your temples. I'm going to come up close so you can see. Knuckles on temples, fingertips wiggle forward. We're going to curl your elbows in and press back. So we're stretching across your back and then across the chest. So squeezing in, pressing back. Let's do 3 more. 2. And take your arms out to the side. Make a little fist like you're punching the wall. Thumbs are forward. Shoulder blades squeeze together. Nice tall posture, and we're going to circle forward. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Flip your thumbs backwards. Keep your shoulder blades squeezed together, and we'll do 20 circles backwards. Punch your fists out to the wall, thumbs tucked in. We're going to roll the shoulders forward and back. Nice. 2, 3, 4. And then twist it out. Let all that tension go. So a lot of the things I do with the bands have to do with the postural muscles in the back, the ones that tend to get weaker, especially as we spend more time driving and computing. Those muscles get longer. They don't necessarily get stronger. So what we're going to work on with the bands when we get to them is retracting those shoulder blades and holding your body up tall, almost like you're zipping yourself up. Let's go down to the hips for now, and we'll make those giant hip circles. And let's reverse direction. Really see how big you can make that circle. And then we're going to go into figure 8s. And reverse direction. Made you think? Okay. Just take your legs side to side, nice and wide. Knees turned out, toes turned out on a little bit of an angle. Press forward enough, you get a little bit of a stretch in your calf. Not enough that you get any pain in your knees. And then come back to center. Settle down into a squat, reach down for the floor. Straighten your legs and squat back down. Straighten your legs so your butt comes up and then it goes down. We're going to do 3 more. 2, 1. And then we're going to come back to straight legs with your hands on the floor. Rotate up to the ceiling and down. Hands up to the ceiling and down. 2. Last set. Up to the ceiling and up to the ceiling. Beautiful. Walk your feet in. Take your hands on your knees. Give yourself a little support as you come up. And we'll grab our bands. So we'll start with the yellow band. If you're feeling super strong, you can go for a green band. But we want something that makes a loop to go just above your wrist. Don't hold the band right on your hands. So above your wrist, roll your shoulders back, pinch the shoulder blades together, and pull that band apart. We're going to go for 10 or 12 of these. Don't let the band go saggy in the middle. You might need to make it a little bit tighter if you've been knotting your band together. Or you can hold it out here. and keep the tension on the band. The beauty is in the tension. You get resistance going in both directions when you don't let the band pull you. And then holding your hands out, thumbs up, you're going to bring your thumbs to your shoulders. So start warming up your biceps. Hold it up here, and we're going to reach forward and pull in. So you're going to hold the band as wide as you can with that tension. Reach forward, pull back. Tension is on the band the whole time. Hold your hands wide enough if you got tension. And then we're going to reach up and straight arm down, straight arm up. Shoulders might be feeling really warm by now. They might be starting to get really tired. I do this, I don't know how many times every day, and every time I do them, my shoulders get tired. Because we're working all the little muscles around the shoulder joint and engaging them with your back muscles. So it's not your back that's getting tired, it's those little muscles. One more. Good. Now you're going to take the band off and hold it overhand grip. And you're going to pull apart at shoulder height. Holding this tension on the band, reach up and pull down. Squeeze your elbows in. Reach up, squeeze those elbows in. It's like doing a lat pull down without actually having a cable machine. Don't let the band come back together. Let's do 2 more. And put the band down. Shake your shoulders out, shake out your back. Everybody feeling good? We're going to take a little break from that. Just bring your arms up. Oh, it hurts to hold your arms up. We're going to pull from the belly button to bring your knees up and then to bring your leg up. But we're going to start with our arms in a nice tall posture pattern, shoulder blades together and pressing down. Bring one knee up and then the other knee up. Last set. We're going to take our arms out. Oh, shoulders are still tired. How does that happen? We're going to reach for the opposite toe. So think about keeping your hips forward while your upper body is doing the rotation. You don't need to touch your toes. We're just separating what your hips are doing from what your upper body is doing. So we don't walk around like we've been ossified in place, like we're made of stone. Just let everything loose. We'll go for butt kicks. And then the last one. We're going to go for high knee lift. So you can stay on one side. Let's do one more. And then we'll switch. Opposite arm and knee come up. You can make it a jump, or you can just lift up onto your toes. Hopefully there's no one downstairs you're going to be bothering with this. Okay. Now we're going to grab a heavier band, depending on how strong you think your legs are. You can use the green band for the first day, see what it feels like. You can use the blue band, it's heavier. If you're feeling super strong, you can go for the black band. I'm going to go with blue today. I'm going to change the camera, shift the angle so you can see what my feet are doing. We're going to put the band around your ankles. So we're going to make a box, and we're going to go 4 times. You start on one side. So bands above your ankles. You're going to lead with your hip. Your hips are going to get tired. Your quads and your hamstrings might get tired. If you need a break, take a break. I'm going to go 4 times around regardless. Okay? So hands on hips, 4 steps to your right. 4 big, wide monster steps forward. And then 4 wide steps to the left. 4 big, wide steps backwards. And that's 1 box. So we've got 3 more to go. 2, 3, 4, heading forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, heading left. 2, 3, 4, and going backwards. Halfway there. Right? 2, 4, over to left, 2, 3, 4, and back, 2, 3, 4. Last time, 2, you guys look great. Going forward for 4, woohoo, 3, 4, this is how you get stronger, 2, 3, 4, and back, 2, 3, 4. Okay, shake it out. We're going to take that band and put it above the knees. Hips don't lie. Hips have to work really hard. Okay. We're going to go into banded squats. As you squat down, I want you to think about pushing out just a tiny bit against the band. You don't need to force your knees out. You just need to feel the band on the outside of your thigh, and that's to prevent your knees from doing this when you squat, which is pretty common. So we want your knees and your toes to stay pointing in the same direction throughout the movement. Having a little bit of tactile pressure on the outside of your thigh helps with that. So here we go. We're going to go for 8 squats. 2, 3, 4. It's like you're sitting back into a chair. You can absolutely have a chair behind you that you want to sit into. Barely touch down on it. And I've lost count. Let's do 1 more. And we're going to pair this with a walkout. And it's going to feel weird with the band on your knees. We're going to reach up, fold down. If you need to bend your knees, go ahead. Walk out. And then we're going to walk it back in. And up. We're going to do this 3 times, so we have 2 more to go. Holding down. Walk out. Walk it back in. And come up. Last time, hold down. Walk it out, walk it back in, and come up. Okay, we're going to go for a second set of those. So getting ready for a squat, feet a little bit wider than your hips, perhaps. If your knees and toes turn out, make sure they're turning out in the same direction. And we're going to go for 8, 7, 6, last 2, last 1, okay. And then right into walkouts. So we're going to reach up, fold down, and walk out. If you're feeling strong, you can add a push-up at the end of the walkout. Number 2, walking out, into your plank, walk it back. Nice. And here we go, number 3. Holding down, walking out, and walking back in. And bring it up. Let's take the band off. Let's come down onto the floor. So we're going to be on hands and knees. We're going to start with bird dogs, and I'll show you some progressions. So usually I start hands under shoulders, knees under hips. If you want a little more challenge, you can pretend you're on a balance beam and bring everything closer together. So we'll go for 4 total bird dogs, extending opposite arm and leg. 3, 4. And then take your stance wider if it was narrow, so your hands are back under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, and you're going to curl your toes under so you can press into them. So if you press into your hands and press into your toes, you're going to exhale and float yourself up off the ground so your knees are just an inch or 2 up, and hold. And release. We can do that one more time. Come up. It's okay to hold this hover. You can try shifting back and forth, shifting side to side. Playing with that, you can feel your core fighting for control. Let it control it. It's a good core exercise. And release. Okay. So from the hover, we're going to add a twist. You can hold the hover if that's where you're comfortable. If you want to try something a little bit different, we can pretend we're doing hip hop. So come up into that hover, where you take the bottom knee up to that top opposite arm. Like that. You don't have to hold it. Bring it back down. Twist up to the other side. Bring it down. And up we go. And up we go. And rest. So the idea of giving you all these progressions is, as you get stronger and as we go along, you may decide to skip the first and use this time to just practice your twists or to do your bear crawls. But it gives you options, so every workout you're not doing less and getting mindless about it. There are ways, I think, to have more fun with it. So the last thing we're going to do is a bear crawl. So again, we're going to come into that hover. You're going to lift opposite arm and leg up off the floor. This is the start. Just practice lifting opposite arm and leg up. To make it a bear crawl, you take that opposite arm and leg and step forward at the same time. And step, and step, and step, and then backwards. 2, 4. Nice. Good. So I think we'll stay on the floor, and we're going to do a banded hip bridge and a banded row. So we'll start with the band up above your knees. If you have 2 bands, this is when it becomes pretty handy. Let me get my other band out too. Okay. So what we're going to do with our bridge this week is press down into your feet, lift up into your bridge, press the band out to the side, bring it together, and lower down. So we're going for 10 of these. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Make sure you're pressing down into your whole foot, not letting your foot roll. I caught myself on that. If I can catch myself, I bet you'd have to catch yourself too. 2, and 1. Bring your knees in and roll it up. I'm going to grab the flat band. And again, you know, every band is different. There's no standardization to colors. You know how strong you are. You can try single with the band around your feet. The closer you hold it to your feet, the more tension you'll have as you pull. If that feels too easy, your bands are long enough, you can double your band and pull from there. So we're going to Sit up nice and tall, right on your sit bones, and go for a row. So it's like working our mid-back muscles, working those postural muscles, holding yourself tall and straight. Your legs do not need to be straight on the ground, which is particularly helpful just in case you have to hold your band or it's not quite long enough to allow you a full range of motion. So the end of the row, you keep rowing, I'll talk. The end of the row is where your elbow is at your ribs. If you're pulling way back, so your elbows are here, you need more tension on your band. So you're gonna row and row. Where are we rowing to? Let's do one more. And then we'll come down on our backs, do one more set. One more set of bridges. If you want to get fancy, you can do them with single leg, lifting up, pushing out to the side and down. If you do this, you want your hips to stay level and not do this. It'll also take you a little bit longer because you have to do both sides. So we'll do both legs now. Cool. Then we roll it up, grab your bands, pull it in, lift up tall, and we'll row. 9, and 10. Okay, let's toss that band to the side. We're going to come onto our sides with our knees bent. Imagine you have a wall behind you and your feet and your back are all touching that wall. From here, we're going to keep your feet together and open up that knee. So we're doing clamshells. Your hips stay stacked. It's not a big movement. And you're going to feel it right in the upper center of your glutes, your butt cheek. Let's do 2 more. We're going to stretch our legs straight. You can keep the bottom leg bent. We're going to come up into a side plank. Nice straight line from your shoulders to your heels. We're going to hold for 15 seconds. And then we're going to roll over and do a front plank. And we're going to hold this for 30 seconds. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it back over onto the other side. So 15 seconds in a side plank on your B side. You want to make it harder, you can take one arm up. You can take your leg up too. And then bring it down. And I'm going to flip around so I can see you. We're going to do clamshells on that B side. So remember lining your feet up with your back against the wall. We're going to open up for 10. Very nice. Let's take the band off. How are we doing on time? It's been about 30 minutes. You're going to do some stretches. If you can stay, that's awesome. If you need to leave, I understand. We're going to come onto the floor, take your feet nice and wide. We're going to windshield wiper down to each side. Let those hips stretch out. So strong hips and strong back, so important. We'll find a way to work these in with strong core, and then we'll add in over time all the arm work that makes us feel good, the glamour muscles. So bringing your feet back to center, cross your left ankle over your right knee, and bring that right leg in towards you. Let your left hip stretch, breathe into it. It might feel really tight. It might not. Okay. Plant your right foot down, arms out to the side. Push your left knee away from you energetically. Don't use your hand because it shifts your position. Think about just opening up that left hip and twisting down to the right. Let that hip open up. Back to center, we'll switch sides. So right ankle over left knee, hug your left knee in. Try to let that right hip open up. I think because of all the driving we do, the right hip usually seems to be tighter on most people. Just because of that seated position and the angle of the hip when we're driving and have our foot on the gas. Let's put that left foot down, let the right hip open up, create extra space in there, and then twist down to your left. And get it, well, on the side, I'm getting a stretch all the way down through the obliques as well. That's how tight I've gotten. And then come back up.